All right, let's dive into a book that's small enough to fit in your pocket, but powerful enough to change your entire world. We're talking about James Allen's timeless classic, As a Man Thinketh. You know, it's over a century old, but honestly, its main idea feels more urgent and relevant now than ever before. Let's get right to the heart of it.
And there it is. That's the whole ball game, right there on the first page. What Allen is saying is profound. He's arguing that you're not just some product of your environment or random luck. Nope. You are, quite literally, the result of your thoughts. Your entire character, it's simply the grand total of every single thought you've ever had. You see, Allen's whole point with this work wasn't just to write down some neat philosophy. He wanted people to have that aha moment, to truly get deep down that they hold all the power, to realize that you are the architect, the weaver of your own reality, both inside and out. So, that sounds great, but how does it actually work in the real world? Well, this first part breaks down how everything you do, every single action, starts from one tiny hidden seed, a thought.
Now, this is so important to grasp. In Allen's view, character isn't this fixed thing you're born with. Not at all. It's fluid, it's dynamic. It's being built second by the thoughts you decide to let stick around. Which means you're literally building your character right now with the thoughts you're having as you listen to this.
I just love this phrasing. It's such a beautiful way to put it, right? Just picture it. A tiny seed of a thought gets planted in your mind. It eventually blossoms into an action. And that action, well, it's going to bear fruit one way or another, either the sweetness of joy or the bitterness of suffering. Every single thing we do is just a thought finally coming out into the open.
To really drive this idea home, Allen gives us one of the most famous metaphors in all of self-help literature, the idea of your mind as a garden. Let's really dig into how this amazing comparison works.
Okay, so here's the real insight. Your mind is always going to produce something. It's never just empty. And that's the choice we face. If you don't intentionally plant the seeds of good, useful, positive thoughts, then all the junk, the useless weed seeds of worry and negativity, will just naturally blow in and take over the whole plot.
And this, right here, is the most empowering part of the whole book. You're not just watching this garden grow passively. No way! You are the master gardener. You have the power to go in there, pull out every wrong and useless thought weed, and actively cultivate the beautiful flowers and fruits of right and pure thoughts.
So let's follow this logic. Allen takes this a step further. He argues that this internal garden of your mind doesn't just shape who you are on the inside. It directly shapes the world you experience on the outside. Your life circumstances, they're just the harvest you're reaping from the seeds you've been planting.
I mean, you can't get much clearer than this, right? The link is direct. There's no mystery. If you plant seeds of fear and doubt, you're going to get a harvest of failure and weakness. But if you plant seeds of courage and self-reliance, you're going to reap success and freedom. Allen says this is a natural law, just as real and dependable as gravity.
So you might be thinking, okay, but how does a flimsy little thought create something as solid as my bank account or my relationships? Well, this is the process. A thought, when you repeat it enough, crystallizes. It becomes a habit. And that habit, when you perform it over and over, literally solidifies into the fabric of your life. It's not magic, it's a construction project happening in your mind.
Now this is a total mind flip. We love to blame our circumstances for how we feel or why we fail. But Allen just turns that completely on its head. He says your circumstances aren't doing anything to you. They're a mirror. They're just reflecting your own inner world back at you, revealing your own patterns of thought.
All right, so if we're the gardeners of our minds, what's the most important tool we have? How do we actually start tending that garden well? Allen's answer is crystal clear. You have to link your thoughts to a purpose.
Think about it. Without a central purpose, our thoughts just drift. They get pulled into every current of worry, fear, and doubt that comes along. Allen actually calls this aimlessness a vice, a bad habit, because it leads straight to failure and unhappiness. A purpose is what gives you the power to focus your mental energy instead of just letting it scatter to the wind. And what's great is he doesn't just say, get a purpose. He gives you a roadmap. First, you find a worthy purpose. Then you make it the absolute center of your thoughts. You pour yourself into achieving it. And, this is key, you actively shut the door on all doubt and fear. That, he says, is the path from just drifting along to true, masterful accomplishment.
So let's just pause on this for a second. This is Allen asking you directly, right now. What's the vision you're holding for yourself?
What's that big ideal you've put up on a throne in your heart? Because whatever that is, he says, that's what your life will be built around. That is what you will become.
You know, every amazing thing that has ever happened in human history, every invention, every masterpiece, every incredible journey, it all started the same way, as a dream, a vision held firmly in one person's mind. Those dreams are the literal seedlings from which our entire reality grows.
And now we get to the ultimate goal, the real prize of mastering your thoughts. It's not just about getting more stuff or changing your circumstances. It's about reaching a state of deep, unshakable inner peace and strength. Now, when Alan talks about serenity, he's not talking about something you're just given. It isn't a passive state. It's an achievement. He calls it a beautiful jewel of wisdom, and it's something you earn through long, patient, hard work at controlling your own mind. It's the final, beautiful flower of a life that's been well tended from the inside.
This quote just paints such a powerful picture, doesn't it? The effect that this inner calm has on the world around you. When a person achieves that kind of serenity, they become a source of strength for everyone else. The presence alone is like a shelter in a storm.
In the end, it really all comes down to these three pillars. Real strength isn't about brute force. It's about self-control. Real mastery isn't about controlling others. It's about directing your own thoughts. And real, true power isn't found in being loud and aggressive, but in a deep, profound sense of calm.
So we'll end on this one last incredible metaphor. Imagine the world is a kaleidoscope, just a collection of random neutral pieces of glass. Your thoughts are the colors, and you're the one holding it, turning it. The picture it creates is entirely up to you. Every moment you're choosing the thoughts, arranging the colors, and creating the picture of your life. The only question left is, what picture are you going to create?